Shalom, call Lawyer Howell, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to my teachers, the men who I learned this truth from. Start with the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, and all the men on down. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatham to the hopefully elect. And there's videos inspired by this article I came across the New York Post. It says scientists creating gene-edited pigs, cattle to improve food production. All right, and I find it no coincidence. They're talking about this great famine that's about to take place. All right, because pursuant to 2 Corinthians 2:11, not being ignorant of Satan's devices. All right, we don't understand that, Esau, thinking himself to be like the Most High, all right, portraying himself to be the Most High, right, and with everything that's going on with this whole coronavirus, COVID-19, all right, which is the perfect, it's the perfect scapegoat, the perfect tool to be used in, establishing Esau's whole New World Order, right? But basically, because, they want to, they're pushing all this money into the economy, giving all these benefits, all right? And them trying to pretty much, get everyone into being completely dependent upon, Esau and the government. All right, and that includes the food chain. All right. Before I jump into the precepts and get ahead of myself, I'm gonna get into this article. Again, the title it reads: "Scientists creating gene-edited pigs, cattle to improve food production." All right, so let's see what this is talking about. All right, it says, London scientists have created gene-edited pigs, goats, and cattle to produce sperm. With traits such as disease-resistant and higher meat quality, and what they say is a step towards genetically enhancing livestock to improve food production. The animals created for the first time by researchers in the United States and Britain using a gene-edited tool called CRISPR-Cas9 could be used as a surrogate series, essentially sterile blank slates that could then be transplanted with stem cells that produce the desired sperm, the scientist said. Now, I did just a little research on what this CRISPR case or Cas9, and it's basically it just goes into basically modifying the genetics, just like how they want to with the vaccines, with the information that's come out and how those vaccines, they'll be able to pretty much with these vaccines, they'll pretty much be able to alter your DNA. Is pretty much the same thing, and this is the stuff that they want to put in animals to supposedly, increase food production. All right, just more GMOs. All right, it says the process could help farmers rear healthier, more productive animals using fewer resources such as feed, medicines, and water. They said it could also give breeders in remote regions of the world better access to genetic material of elite animals from elsewhere, allowing for precision breeding. With this technology, so you see that through their technology, all right, we can get better dissemination of desirable traits and improve the efficiency of food production, said John Oatley, a reproductive biologist at Washington State, blah, blah, blah. It says he said this could have a major impact on addressing food insecurity around the world. If we can tackle this genetically, then That means less water, less feed, and fewer antibiotics we have to put into the animals, which they're admitting that they put all these antibiotics and all this stuff, they inject all these animals into the animals and the food that we eat. All right. It says, yet gene editing has long been a contentious subject, and the latest advance could face resistance from critics opposed to the genetic modification of animals, which they regard as dangerous tampering with nature. And that's, again, that's exactly what they're doing. All right. They're trying to play the Most High because, again, they want to be the Most High. All right. So they want to, with that, they want to do away with the Most High and, everything that the Most High has set up. All right. It says the researchers stressed that the gene editing process they used was designed only to bring about changes within an animal species that could occur naturally. This research was a proof of concept, they said, and showed that the technique could work. Current regulations, however, mean that gene-edited surrogate sires could not be used in the food chain anywhere in the world, even though their offspring would not be gene-edited. The researchers said, which that's, of course, that's probably some nonsense. It says Oatley's team used CRISPR-Cas9 to knock out a gene specific to male fertility in the animal embryos that would be raised to become the surrogate sires. The male animals were then born sterile but began producing sperm after researchers transplanted stem cells from donor animals into their tests. This shows the world that this technology is real. It can be used, said Bruce Whitlaw, an expert at the Rosalind Institute at Britain's Edinburgh University, who worked on the team. We now have to work out how best to use it productively to help feed our growing population. All right. And again, not being ignorant of Satan's devices. All right. Because, going back to the Georgia Guidestone, I often bring that out, the one of the goals of the elites, as written on the Georgia Guidestones, is to maintain humanity under I believe it said 500 million. All right. And you got this guy Bill Gates. All right, he's advocating these vaccinations, which he this is the same guy that believes the earth is overpopulated. All right. And I bring the vaccinations up, and because this whole what is it, the CRISPR case 9. All right. I mean, it all ties in. It pretty much all ties in together. Gene altering technologies, basically. So yeah, because again, I quoted what is that, Ezekiel 28. Ezekiel 28, starting at the first verse. Ezekiel 28 and 2. I'll start at verse 1. It says, the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus. Now, and again, because Esau, he's spiritually, he's spiritually he's a spiritual Canaanite. All right. So when it's addressing the prince of Tyrus, all right, and more so, again, Esau, he's the modern day Pharaoh. All right. He's the spiritual Canaanite. And I believe Tyrus was a Canaanite. All right. So, more so this is addressing Esau in these last days, right? It says, thus saith Yahweh thy power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though that thou set thy heart as the heart of God. All right. So you see, again, because Esau, he portrays himself to be like the Most High. All right. They created all this cancer on the earth. All right. And, like some you can just picture like some old fashioned movie, out comes the phoenix out of this darkness, to pretty much fix, all the problems, of the earth. All right, Esau, he's trying to accomplish these things as the Most High. He's trying to paint himself, as some savior to humanity. All right, so because again, this is because like I said, I did a little research on what the whole CRISPR Cas9 thing is, and watched a couple of videos, and people were actually on board with this, because again, with all the food shortages, and um, they talk about how they don't have to inject animals with antibiotics and all this other poison, all this other garbage. All right, people were actually on board with this. All right, because people are desperately seeking answers. They're seeking relief, rather than putting their trust in the Most High, Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, they put their trust in this spiritual Canaanite. All right, this spiritual Pharaoh. All right. So yeah, people are they're on board with this. All right, because again, here it is. When you go to Genesis, the first chapter, and when you go to jump down to 29, it says, "And the Most High said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of, a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." All right, so again, here it is, Yahweh Shemel Shai, because they talk about, in the health industry, they talk about, incurable diseases, and things that can't be reversed. Well, I always put it like this, people. Yahweh Shemel Shai, he has something out there to cure every single known disease, sickness, ailment known to man. All right. The immune system itself, it's created to pretty much, fight off any known disease, every disease known to man. All right. The Yahweh Shemel Shai created the body, beautifully and perfectly. All right. And like I said, the immune system, it can fight off anything, but again, with all this, garbage that they're putting into the foods, everything that we consume, the air being polluted, all the shit that they're putting in the water, right? Everything that they're putting in the food chain, it dumbs us down. All right. It makes us docile. It pretty much weakens our immune system, and it weakens our internal organs. All right. So we're not able to, fully tap into that, to where, the body, it can fight off these diseases or whatnot. All right, because again, our bodies, they become dumbed down. We these vile bodies, and we're just weak, But again, Esau, again, being like the Most High, or wanting to be like the Most High. All right. Matter of fact, real quick, Psalms 104, 14, pretty much just the same thing. Yeah, it says, He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. So again, all right, because again, there's different herbs and different foods and plants and things out there, that's for is things out there purposely. It's designed to fight off certain ailments and sicknesses and things of that nature. All right. So again, when someone says you have they have a specific disease or whatever, that's incurable or whatever the case may be. Well, again, Yahweh Shemel Shai has something out there that there's a cure, a natural cure out there to fight off every known known disease known to man. All right. But again, like I said, Esau being the devil that he is, all right, he wants to do away with Yahweh Shemel Shai's system and bring in his own system. All right. And, it's no coincidence. A lot of these major, store chains like Walmart and others, all right, they survived through the whole, COVID-19 pandemic. All right, there's no coincidence. All right, because again, Esau, they want to control the food supply. All right, when you go to Revelations, um, verse 16, when it says, "And he causeth all," so you see, Esau, he's gonna do something to where everyone has to go to him for relief. All right, for comfort, for food, for water. All right, he's gonna cause something to where if you want anything, and that includes food, supplies, you're gonna have to go to him. And it's going to be in the form of that chip. When you read on, it says, "Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." All right. So again, when Esau starts coming through with those chips, all right, which is the mark of the beast, all right, and if you don't have that, if you don't have that chip, you won't be able to eat. All right. The next verse, it says, you won't be able to buy, you won't be able to sell, you won't be able to conduct business in society. But sticking to the point, because again, not having that chip, all right, you won't be able to eat, you won't be able to buy food or anything, all right. And this is where your faith is going to have to come in these last days, because this is all part of the curses. Talks about that in Ezekiel, the 4th chapter. Eating our bread, defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, all right. But nevertheless, this is where our faith is going to have to come in, in these last times. All right, because we're not going to know where our food's coming from. We're not going to know where our next meal's coming from, and I'll be damned if eat this garbage. All right, taking this garbage, this poison. All right, and this people wonder why a lot of people are all messed up in the head, because again, this stuff it has DNA, gene altering technologies in it. All right, the information that's come out about the vaccinations, all right, how it contains nanobot technology in it. It's all DNA altering technologies. You're literally, the more of this stuff that you consume, the more you're pretty much turning yourself into a robot, because that's what Esau wants at the end of the day. All right, it all goes back to complete control. Esau, he wants complete control, and this is why, again, this is read in Revelation 13:16 when it says he causes all. All right, because again, that's what they want at the end of the day. They want to wipe out a mass majority of the population. All right, because it's a more manageable crowd to control. All right, and a good way that they do that is through the food chain, through the food supply. That's why they put all the shit in the foods that we eat. All right, sterilization and things of that nature. All right. So this is came across this article, and Spirit was on me to touch on that a little bit. Yahweh is all you edified. Once again, I'm gonna give all credit to Yahweh Bashemel Shai. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and others of Great Millstone. Lieutenant Sam Shalom.